Hey, it's Nay, and welcome to my channel. So today we are talking about floral fragrances for people who are not the biggest floral lovers. So I'm talking about my basically four of floral fragrances I have in my collection that I think are definitely quite floral, but I like them still, and I wouldn't consider myself really into florals like that, honestly. So if you are similar to that, and you'd like to see potential fragrances that you can give a chance, go smell it, order the tester version of it, and see what you think, then keep on watching. But before you keep on watching, please just hit that like button for me, all right? Thank you. All right, so I have four fragrances here, like I said, and one is actually a dupe for a very high-end brand, and I just really like my dupe one, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, I don't know if I will ever own the real one. I don't see myself buying it, and it's not because I don't like it, it's because of the price. And I just feel like the dupe does what it's supposed to do at a price that I just think is so very wonderful. All right, so the first one I'm going to go into here, I just pulled up the Fragrantica. The first one is from Floral Street, and this is Wonderland Peony. The main accords are fruity, floral, fresh, sweet, woody, rose, tropical, powdery, caramel, and vanilla. I actually haven't worn this fragrance in a hot minute. I'm not sure if I said it in a video or not, but I'm saving this for spring and summer. I think this would be a great spring and summer scent, and as you can see, I have a travel size version, not a full version. This has nothing to do with my liking of this fragrance or not. I am obsessed with this. This is wonderful. This is more to deal with. I'm trying to finish off my testers and travel sizes of things before I go ahead and get the bigger one. Sometimes I feel like I rush because I like it, like after wearing it 2 or 3 times, and then go get a bigger one, and I like it but not love it as much as I think I do. So let's go into this. Let's break this down here. Top notes are guava, red berries, and Sicilian lemon. And don't be concerned about the lemon in here. You're not going to get any type of cleaner product here, because some of these fragrances really come out smelling like cleaner. The lemon and guava are some of the first notes I smell, and then the red berry. It's like lemon, guava first come through the door, but right behind them is red berries. Middle notes are raspberry, bloom, peony, and violet, and base notes are cotton candy, vanilla, resins, woody notes, cedar, and vetiver. Now, I'm not sure let's see what they consider this. For me, I definitely get the floral notes in here as it starts to dry down. Like I said, you don't really get it immediately, and you got to be careful with some fragrances that have floral notes in the mid, because you think it's not as floral as it could be, and it definitely gets floral. It's just so sweet and delicious. I actually quite like peony as a floral note, and violet for me is like iris. It turns a little powdery, but don't worry, this is not a super powdery fragrance. Although I do like powdery fragrances, I did not even detect a powdery note. If you see a little human being walking around behind me, that is my firstborn son. Hear any interesting noises, that is him as well. I'm sorry if it distracts you. The cotton candy definitely shines through in this, and as you let it dry down, I'm not sure, maybe it's the resins, but you do get like a caramelly vanilla vibe. So you get fruity, then florally, then kind of like slightly gourmandish. Oh, it's just such a lovely fragrance, and it has such a like wave of different growth throughout the top, mid, and dry and base notes. It's wonderful. The next one, I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about Okja again. I feel like I talk about Okja a lot, but I just think it is a perfume house that did not come to play with anyone here, okay? And the one I want to talk about is Madame Rose. This is a dupe for Delina. Do I think I'm gonna get Delina? I don't know. If it's gifted to me, that's one thing, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it. I really like this. I just don't wear it like that because I have nowhere to wear it to. I do think there might be a chance I'll wear it more in the spring and summer. This is a rose forward scent, guys. Super rose forward. Super, but so sexy, but sharp. I feel like there's a little sharpness to this in the beginning. That might be the rhubarb. Rhubarb and I have a funny relationship. So the top notes are lychee, rhubarb, bergamot, and nutmeg. Heart notes are Turkish rose, peony, musk, petalia, and vanilla. And base notes are cashmere, cedar, Haitian vetiver, and incense. Don't get scared of the incense. It's not a super strong incense, I promise you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the nutmeg lends almost like a slight like cinnamony, like dessert vibe to this. And the bergamot, just think of bergamot as like a bubbly lemon lime type of situation, and lychee is always like a slightly sweet. That could be sometimes a little sharp, I believe, too, because some of the fragrances that have lychee in it that I own are slightly sharp. Nothing like super wild, and it doesn't last, so don't be concerned. But the Turkish Rose, okay, so Turkish Rose and Damask Rose, I believe, for me, lean towards the sweeter roses. So when you're looking at floral fragrances, think of those things, okay? What particular floral notes am I okay with? And I just like Turkish and Damask and Peony. Lily of the Valley is fine. Not a like big favorite. I like Violet just because of the powdery essence it gives me usually. But this is just a sweeter type of floral, and it's definitely a floral. It's delicious. And the vanilla is not actually a note in here, but I'm telling you, as this dries down, okay, so on my skin is the only one, but I just had to spray that. Oh, it's so lovely. It's so lovely. For some reason I do get a little vanilla as it dries down in here, but there's no vanilla in here, which is interesting. Alright, so the next one is, and I blind bought this, and I was like, if I don't like this, I think it was Amy Glam who I saw gas up this fragrance. I could be wrong, but I think it was Amy Glam. And I was like, girl, this, first of all, the top of this something is Floral. The main accords are white floral, fruity, sweet, tropical, citrus, tuberose, woody, musky, animalic, and floral. So the first main accord, and the last main accord is floral. The thing with white florals, I feel like this is really okay. So I would consider this. Here's the thing about fragrances, real quick. Let me just real quick get diverted. People, when you get a fragrance and you use it for the first however long, I don't want to give you an exact time frame because it definitely changes. It's weird, it's different, and it's probably different for everybody, but it's also different for every fragrance. What you're smelling at first is not always what you can continue to smell, because for me, Ariana Grande's Cloud has gotten a little airier since I first bought it. It's still not as light as other stuff that I like Burberry Her, or my dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. Nothing's in my pockets, sir. But it's definitely not the same as when I first got it. And this is true for this as well. So the top notes are mango, quince, and grapefruit. Middle notes are tuberose, jasmine. Solo notes, orange blossom, ozonic notes, and sea salt. Base notes are white musk, white woods, Australian sandalwood. Okay, so for me, I do get the mango, but I feel like other people get the mango like super. And for me, the quince and grapefruit give this a very like citrusy, bright opening. And it definitely was a little thicker for me in the beginning. And this is amazing. Oh, this is amazing. Now, be careful, because as this dries down, not even maybe 5 minutes later, you are gonna get orange blossom, tuberose, jasmine. I feel like there's another floral in here, but maybe I'm just losing my mind. And these are all white florals, but they're definitely strong in here. The salt. I really like salt in my fragrances, and I feel like salt gives an extra dimension in most sweeter fragrances. Almost like when you bake. I'm really into baking. I'm a housewife currently, and I love to make things from scratch or semi-scratch. And when you add salt to dishes that are primarily like the opposite, like a sweet, or whatever, but primarily sweet, it just gives a little extra to it, and you don't know that until you try to make your stuff from scratch without it. Now I'm kind of getting a little bit of the mango in here too, so I don't know. Thank you. It's good, but it does dry down a little. So there's white musk in here, and for me, now that I'm starting to wear musky fragrances and powdery fragrances more, I definitely get the musk, and the sandalwood gets creamy for me, but not super creamy. It's kind of like a little drizzle of some type of creaminess in here that just mixes really well with the floral notes and doesn't make stuff too much for me. I am interested in trying the Dulce Peony because I do like peony. It's just nice. And one thing I can also say is the longevity for this is pretty dang decent, and I tried it out in the winter time, so that's amazing. So I can only imagine how great it's going to be in the summer. And let's go on and wrap this up to the last one, and this is okay. If you are a returning subscriber, you'll hear me when I talked about this one. It's not that I didn't like this one, I just wasn't as impressed with this one and what people love to compare it to, because honestly, you can't come for the entire Black Opium line for me. Although I only have the extreme version, I like the entire line, and I don't think there's anything basic, ordinary, trashy about it at all. You know what I mean? Just because everybody wears it. I mean, everybody talks and wears about Baccarat Rouge 540, and you'll never hear anybody bashing it like that. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. I just think once these, perfumers who have been in the perfume community for a while, they just start getting bored of smelling the same things, which makes sense. But don't let them, steer you away from something that could be really, really great for an everyday use for you. And this is Dolce & Gabbana's The Only One. I'm a little annoyed at myself. And look, I'm an oversprayer, and I can only give myself 2 sprays of this. The florals in this are strong. Is this a coffee fragrance? No. But there's coffee in it. So when talking about Black Opium, for me, Black Opium is a coffee fragrance. Coffee Break by the replica line, Major Margiela, is a coffee fragrance. This is a floral fragrance with coffee in it for me, because the florals hit me in my face. And it's wild when you look at these main accords, because the main accords are like caramel, sweet, powdery, vanilla, then violet, coffee, warm, spicy, citrus, then iris, and fruity. There is floral galore in here, and they call this one an amber vanilla. For me, the florals hit me hard, but in the best way possible. So the top notes are violet, orange, and bergamot. Middle notes are coffee, pear, iris, orange blossom, and rose. And base notes are caramel, vanilla, and patchouli. I smell each and every the violet, the iris, and the rose are strong in here for me. I feel like they put extra doses of this. But because things like coffee, caramel, pear are in here, they are a thicker, heavier type of note. And so maybe for a lot of people, it just seems like the florals add something, whereas for me, the florals are the core and the other notes add. This is what I was wearing on my skin. What I am wearing on my skin, excuse me. The florals are just strong in ya. Cheese on peas. But then the coffee, okay. I don't really get the bergamot per se like that. And I'll get the orange for maybe 2.5 seconds. But outside of that, it definitely gives me a powdery, floral, sweetened coffee note. I have to buy the bigger one, and I'm a little annoyed with myself because I was in TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and I saw, I think, a 1.6 or something for like $50 or $60, maybe $50 for a 1. Maybe it was a 3.4 for whatever. It was a very good, well, maybe it was a 3.3 because now I'm seeing you can get it for $55 online. So maybe it was $50 for a 3.3, and I should have just bought it, and I didn't. So I'm gonna have to sit here and definitely, once I finish this, when you finish this, then you can get a bigger one. It's definitely going to take me a little bit of time to finish this because I have so many fragrances and I don't OD spray this. So this is actually quite a few wears for me. Even though I am an oversprayer, I don't overspray this. I also don't want to associate this with high stress situations or my day-to-day regular situations all the time. So this might actually be, and I'm actually going to record this video next. You're going to see the same exact outfit, but this might actually be one of the fragrances I'm going to bring with me this weekend to a wedding I am going to. But that's all I have to say. Dang, this video is longer than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, let me know if you're a big floral lover or not. If you're not a big floral lover, but you do have some fragrances in your stash that are floral, let me know what they are. I'm always down to try out new things. And what do you have to say about the 4 that I mentioned to you? Do you agree? Let's talk about this down in the comments section. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.